2020 MEIJI YASUDA J1 League season had it all. Thrilling action, iconic superstars, and historic moments that will live long in the memories of Japanese football fans. This is part one of our week-by-week journey through an unforgettable campaign. The very first match week started our season off with a bang with plenty of surprising results. Reigning champions Yokohama F. Marinos were stunned at home, dealt a 2-1 defeat by Gamba Osaka. Sanfrecce made Kashima Antlers' visit to Hiroshima a miserable one, with a 3-0 win. And Yokohama FC marked their return to the top flight with a point against star-studded Vissel Kobe, their first in 13 years. But looming on the horizon, an unthinkable crisis. The global pandemic had reached Japan, and as a result, the J.League announced the season was to be on hold. Finally, after 4 months of no football, the J-League was back. And we would get started with a thrilling Osaka derby. Cerezo on this occasion would defeat Gamba for the first time in 16 years away from home, turning the city cherry blossom pink. Elsewhere, the defending champions were held yet again. This time, Yokohama F. Marinos fought to only a draw in Saitama against Urawa Reds. Cerezo Osaka would make it 3-3 on match week 3, beating Shimizu S-Pulse to preserve their perfect start. The Tamagawa Classico ended with Frontale beating FC Tokyo by an astonishing 4-0 scoreline. Sanfrecce looked on pace for another win at home when Leandro Pereira put them up 1-0 early on, but it was a late flurry from Oita Trinita that gave the visitors all 3 points. And in Ibaraki, Hokkaido Consalole Sapporo defeated Kashima away from home for the first time in club history. Match week 4 saw very welcome news as a limited number of fans returned to the stadium. At the summit of the standings, Kawasaki Frontale welcomed and defeated Kashiwa Reysol to take control at the top of the table. In match week 5, sensational Cerezo stepped it up again, downing Sanfrecce Hiroshima to keep the pressure on the league leaders. The next match week saw a meeting at the bottom of the table between Sagan Tosu and Shimizu S-Pulse, and in a hard-fought draw. In match week 7, we caught a beautiful bicycle kick from Tarek, which had Shonen Belmare on course for a famous result. But Frontale were just too much to handle. For a 5th consecutive game, they scored 3 or more goals and set the J1 League's best record through 7 match weeks since 2004. In Chiba, Kashiwa Reysol thrashed Vegalta Sendai 5-1, with Michael Olunga getting his first J1 hat-trick. With 8 goals in 7 matches, the Kenyan super striker wasted no time showing the top flight while he was the talk of J2 last season. At the Sapporo Dome, we saw Keita Endo say goodbye to J.League as he left for Germany, unfortunately departing early on in the game with an injury. His team, Yokohama Marinos, didn't have their best day either. Match week 8 saw Oita Trinita put themselves in the lead against Kashima. But they were powerless to stop Everaldo and the Antlers, as the Brazilian powered them to a 4-1 win with a hat-trick. League leaders Kawasaki Frontale traveled to face Gambo Osaka and gritted out a 1-0 win on the road to stay top of the table. In match week 9, the name on everyone's lips was Naoki Maeda, as Ultraman put 4 past Urawa Reds in a 6-2 victory. It was Nagoya's biggest win against Urawa in 20 years, as Grampus showed they had plenty of attacking might to match their notoriously steely defense. Skipping over to match week 11, we were treated to a top-of-the-table clash between leaders Frontale and Cerezo in second. With the best defensive record in J1, the visitors from Osaka were expected to be hard to break down, but Kawasaki ran away with 5-star quality on the day. On match week 12, though, Frontale were finally beaten for the first time in 11 matches, held scoreless by the Nagoya Grampus rearguard, anchored by excellent Aussie, Mitch Langley. At the Nissan Stadium, an assist from Thai star Tiratan held Marinos' secure victory. And a Japanese football legend, Atsuro Uchida, retired from the game at age 32 in Kashima, where it all began. In a rescheduled game between match weeks, we saw a terrific individual performance as Marinos man Junior Santos made it an impressive return of 5 goals in 3 games. But days later, Yokohama were held in embarrassing fashion in Kobe as they saw a 3-1 lead slip away in the 90th minute. Vissel Kobe notched twice at the death to bring the reigning champions back down to earth in a big way. In the Kanagawa derby, Kawasaki Frontale made it more misery for Marinos. And in Kansai, Cerezo were special in a 3-0 win against Urawa Reds. There was some better news for the Saitama club in match week 15, as Shinzo Kuroki scored for the first time since the restart, becoming only the 6th J-League player to reach 150 goals. Sanfrecce Hiroshima, on the other hand, made history from the other side of the pitch, as rising star Keisuke Osako notched his first career assist. Osako wouldn't be quite so lucky in match week 16, however, when Frontale were 5-star quality yet again, putting a handful past Sanfrecce. At the halfway point of the season, we saw the league's 2 form sides collide as Kashima Antlers halted Cerezo's 6-game winning streak, and in so doing, took their own winning streak to 6 games. So, after half of the match weeks were played, here's how the table looked. Kawasaki Frontale with a big lead at the top of the standings, an Antlers resurgence from the cellar, and a lot of important football yet to be played as the summer turned to fall. Thanks for joining us for the first half of the season recap. Don't forget to join us for part 2.